We ready to roll?
Yes, sir. Change the battery. Sorry.
The battery for what?
Optic.
Oh, okay. So just come over here because you don't need that right this second. Wait, you killed an SRO battery?
Huh?
That's an SRO?
Yeah.
It's like every 2 years, man.
I run my shit right.
Oh, shit. I mean, mine goes 2 years. All right, we're going to work on moving around today. There'll be quite a lot of movement. We've got, we'll call it a stage. It's not the prettiest stage you've ever seen. We've got a stage over there, and we'll have exercises over here. Like I said yesterday, you're going to get to move around and kind of work at your own pace today and shoot as much as you want, and I'll show you the exercise we're doing here and what I want you to do on the stage. All right, so first things first, let's talk about moving around and stance. We didn't discuss that at all yesterday, right? How to stand. Yeah, I mean, if you're shooting a pistol, if you just have a slight forward weight bias, shooting like a 9mm pistol, that's going to be fine. You know what I mean? You don't need to think too much about the stance when it just comes to shooting. Stance is really important when it comes to movement. All right, so we want to stand like this, feet spread apart, knees bent, ready to move. This or something like this. Think like a shortstop or a fighter. Like you need to be in a position you can break any direction you want to really aggressively. So what we want is like, hey, if I want to go over there now, watch what happens. Immediately, I'm putting, like, when I decided to move, you saw my shoulders moving the direction I wanted to go, right? All right, now if I stand like this, and I want to go over there, watch what happens. What happened?
You gotta take an extra step.
Yeah, so you saw my shoulders drop down, my trail foot kick out, and me push off. I would judge all of that time as wasted, right? What we want is you kind of shoot into a position, and you, with training and all that shit, you will set up like this without having to think about it. And what I find is if I set up good, the exit is going to be good. I'm not going to take those extra steps or false steps or drop steps, whatever you want to call them, to get myself going. Like that is a thing that I do if I have to do. But normally, just standing normally, that should not happen. Does that make sense? All right. Also, as you move around, especially on a stage and here, we'll be working with vision barriers. What I want to see is you have the gun up, ready to go early, and you form the intent to shoot early. All right, this is where a lot of time gets saved. So if you watch high-level USPSA shooters going around shooting a normal match, you see the gun stays up most of the time these days. Most matches now are just kind of slow walking through a stage, smashing targets the whole time, right? That's like 80% of it. Is that fair to say? For those of you that do it? All right, so you'll see like these days the gun hardly even comes down as long as there's targets to engage. And when we do a movement, we want the gun to be up early and again, form the intent to shoot early. And then as soon as I see the target, the sight goes right to where I'm looking and I can start shooting early. That's pretty obvious. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people, they'll like psychologically break it up. They'll be like, okay, shoot. They'll be like, okay, shoot, 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 move. Stop, okay, now I have permission to shoot, that kind of thing. And we want to blend everything together, right? So I'm shooting, okay, the targets are close enough, I'm going to roll out of position while I'm shooting, run really aggressively, get close where I'm going to shoot again, mount the gun, get ready to shoot, and shoot as I flow into position and stop like this. Stylistically, that's what we're looking for, because that'll allow me to shoot dynamically when I can, and then move really aggressively and make sure I stop ready for the next movement. But gun up early, and again, form the intent to shoot early. What do I mean by that when I say form the intent to shoot?
Like, don't wait until you're settled on this.
Yeah, so what I see from a lot of guys, like a class like this, I don't know who it's going to be, but probably a third of you are going to move into position here like this. Right? So the gun's up. It's like, that's like the range theatrics, like, oh, Ben wants to see my gun up. And you can see the gun's up, but it's just below my eye target line. Get in position, stop. Okay, now I'm going to shoot. And then they actually mount the gun and look to shoot. That'll be like a third of you. That's not what we want, right? If you form the intent to shoot early, I want you just looking for the spot on the target. I'm coming into position. The gun goes right there. And when should I start shooting?
As soon as you see it on top.
Soon as how do I know when I'm able?
When you have, I guess, the stability and...
Right. I like that you said that. I'm going to hammer it in a second, but I like that you said it. And well, our high level guy, what do you say? When do I start shooting?
As soon as the picture's acceptable.
Right. That's the answer I'm looking for, and your answer is the one that we have to fuck down through training, honestly. Like, we have to crush that. All right, and the thinking is this: like, I roll into position or whatever, I'm off balance, uncomfortable, I don't like how it feels, whatever. If the sight is on the target and the sight indicates to me shoot, I shoot, irrespective of my body position. If I have like a fucked up lean like this and I don't like how it feels, I don't have stability, but the sight says go, I go. All right, and the reverse is true. Right? Roll into position, dead stable, dead stopped, sight not indicating shoot. Target's 50 yards away, right? It's got to stabilize a little, whatever. The sight will tell me what I do, and I listen to the sight. I explicitly do not listen to my body. So, and that's true in a lot of ways, right? If you feel slow, does that mean you should speed up and try harder in a match? No. If I feel off balance or uncomfortable, does that mean I'm doing it wrong? Or should I just yeah. You see what I mean? It's like, no, don't how about this? Like your concept of time. When you're shooting on the clock, like your body's telling you one concept of time, and then you hear that like the time called after, and you're like, oh, that's not what I thought, right? So we ignore the emotional part of it and focus on, hey, what is the sight telling me? That's what I want to listen to. Make sense? All right. So let's start drilling this now. Do I have hearing protection?
Is that kind of like the process, but not the outcome?
What's that?
Like consciously focusing on the process that you're doing right now?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, if you're shooting in the middle of a stage in a competition and you're actively thinking like, oh, I think I'm going to win this stage, it's probably not a productive thought. Probably nothing good is happening right then. It's probably not good. All right, I'll make a couple examples for you here. The exercise is simple. I'm going to start on the cone. I'm going to shoot plate, paper, move across the barrel stack, and then shoot the other two papers and the plate again. I'll make a couple of examples for you. What'd you think of that? It'd be perfectly acceptable if you go, gee, like that would be what I'm looking for. All right, let's try it again. We'll count that as a hit. All right, how was that different, what I just did? Yes, in my head, it wasn't shoot, move, shoot. I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking, hey, it's continual shooting. It's like, we're only taking a step. I'm going to look to where I think the next target is. The gun will go right to where it is. When I see the sight picture I want, I start engaging the target. Right? With that mentality of continual shooting if possible, looking to the next target and having the gun go there, kind of irrespective of what my feet are doing, that's what we're looking for. At the end of the drill, I stopped, feet spread apart, knees bent, ready for the next movement if there is one. Right? That's what we're looking for. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, so over here we have three of these little scenarios. You know, again, they're a little bit different, but they're kind of the same at the same time. And we'll come over here and work on this, keeping the gun mounted and introducing just a little bit of movement, all right, and shooting the targets. Now, the vision barriers are just here to fuck with you, to be honest. Just like we trained yesterday, you got to look through the vision barrier, look for that spot, find the spot on the target. You know it's there somewhere and you're looking for it. You're not looking at this. This is just going to be a blue blob that's in the way of you doing your job. Make sense? All right. Any questions on this?
What's the order? Plate, paper, 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 plate?
Yes, on all of them. So like here in the middle, it'd be like plate, paper, 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 plate. And it's the same over there. So we'll start on the cone again and move a little bit. And for the guys that are a little taller, just move the cone away a little bit. I want you to have to take like a full step. I really don't want to see you stop like this on this drill. Why is this bad?
Not ready.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, my rule is that if you want to make me lean, put down a fault line and make me. Otherwise, I'm going to stand comfortably. I'll take the extra half step or whatever and I'll be comfortable. And that, I think in competition, that's going to serve you a lot better.
Can you show me again? I was looking that way. Can you show me again what you meant by fucked up with the lean? Oh, okay, yeah.
If 50-50 weight distribution, if I have a choice, that's what I'm going to do. If that choice gets taken away, fine. I'm okay to shoot off balance or uncomfortable. But I'm pretty lazy by nature. I'm not going to volunteer for that shit. Okay, let's go over to the stage.